From CTV News headquarters in Agincourt, Scarborough, you are watching Toronto's breaking news, CP24. Hello, I'm Nick Dixon, and welcome to the semifinals of CP24's The Great Debate, which is being aired right here on CP24 and on YouTube as well. So here we are, night 3 on Wednesday here, and the rules are simple. We've chosen a random topic for our guests to debate. In segment 1, each guest is going to be arguing their side of the topic, and then in segment 2, each guest will get the opportunity to refute or rebut the other's opinions. When both debaters are finished, that's when we turn things over to our in-studio panel, who will make their decision on who won and who moves on to the next matchup. Keep in mind, the next matchup now would be the finals, because this is the semifinal round. Okay, here are the contestants we have walking in as they get ready for today's semifinals here, starting with George Smitherman, who won his first round battle over Tony Chapman earlier in this week. So there's George Smitherman. Gurratan Singh getting ready for his semifinal performance as well. He'll be coming up against Nicole Servinis later on in this program. And then Adwoa and Nicole, are they sharing tips or talking about their strategies here? I don't know. They maybe take each other on the final, but you got to get through the semifinals first. And of course, that in-studio panel, they are carefully watching all the action. Look at them all dressed in black, taking things oh so seriously today. They are ready to go. They're listening to every word. So again, George, let's take a look at these brackets here to sort of set you up as to where we've been so far. George Smitherman taking on Tony Chapman. It was beauty versus brains. I'm not talking about the contestants. I'm talking about what they were debating. George Smitherman came out on top, arguing for brains. And then Adwoa Nsiah-Yeboah taking out Matt Cauz from TSN Radio. Is a hot dog a sandwich? That one got feisty. They really chewed that topic over. So they head to the semifinals, and that's where we are right now. George, Adwoa, this is round 1. This is the topic. Thanks you both for being here. Binge watching. Who's not doing that? Well, it led to the demise of the hit show The Bear. That's according to Wired Online. Speeding through the episodes with its high-stakes emotional plot overwhelmed viewers, and little time is therefore left for reflection and discussion. Now, while having access to all episodes at once often appeals to viewers, TV networks and streaming services are seeing better revenue and ratings on week-to-week programming. So here is the question. This is what's being debated. What's better for TV viewers? Or streamers, I suppose. Binge watching or weekly watching? Okay, George, you're arguing for binge watching, which so many people likely watching are doing now. State your case.
Well, thank you. And thank you to CP24 for the opportunity to participate in the great debate today. For me, easily arguing on behalf of binge watching over the spoon-fed weekly model. There are innumerable health and wellness benefits associated with the opportunity to binge watch, like bringing families together, the inexpensive staycation, actually an opportunity to escape and to heal. But at the same time, to me, actually, fundamentally, this is a matter of freedom and independence. So frequently I'm in a position where I'm paying for content. Why in this day and age, simply for their ratings and financial compensation, should I be rationed for something that I want or paid for? I find it a little like if a traffic reporter had news of an event that was important that a person heard about it, like Cauz on the 400 North on the Friday of a long weekend, they'd stretch it out till after the commercial break to try and hang on to some audience. I find that cynical. I find it paternalistic. So for me, the choice to binge watch or to watch it weekly is a consumer choice that I should have. It's about independence and it's about freedom.
Okay, and that's about time. Okay, well thought out argument there, George Smitherman. Okay, Adwoa, you are arguing in the favor of the, shall we say, standard television model of week to week. State your case.
I think weekly watching is the way to go. So when you are actually consuming a television show, you have to think about it. You want to make sure you're watching something, and it leaves you watch one episode, it leaves you with a cliffhanger. If you binge watch the entire show, you lose the plot, you lose the characters, you lose the synopsis, all of these things, and you lose the water cooler chat. You want to be able to go to work and talk about every episode after every episode and discuss things that happen in the show. When you binge it, you don't know. I don't know if Nick has watched it. George, I don't know if you watched the episode. I have to guess that you binged it all. Then there's spoilers. Then we're dealing with all of that. And don't leave out, binge watching, I always come with statistics, has health issues. There was a CBC study that was done, and it said it leads to depression and anxiety, in terms of back problems, in terms of shrinkage of lung capacity. Oh, you can laugh, but this is a real thing. And because you're sitting so long on a couch, and it creates all these problems because you're watching 10 hours of television, those are harms to your health. Also, a new study showed that when you watch a show and you're binge watching a show, you lose customers, you lose viewers, because what they do is they want to watch that episode, all the episodes at once, and then they leave. So you're losing revenue. People have health issues. There's so many problems with it. It's a no-brainer.
Okay, there
Weekly
we go.
Watching.
Okay, well, they've thrown their stakes down. We know which side they're on. Our panel, though, right now, they're the ones listening as closely as perhaps you are. They are counting up the points that each contestant has accumulated in this round. Keep in mind, there is one round to go. Yeah, there's the panel talking. Do they like binging, or did you catch that show last night? No spoilers, please. They're figuring out the winner, but there's round two. The rebuttal's coming up. Coming up next on CP24 is the great debate. Stick around. Binging versus weekly watching. Coming up. All right, this is CP24's The Great Debate. We are in the semifinal, number one in the brackets here. This is being aired, of course, on CP24 and right across our digital streaming sites and YouTube. And streaming is kind of what we're talking about here. Round two, this is the rebuttal rounds, our opportunity for our guests to refute our opponent's opinions. And at the end of 5 minutes, our judges, our in-house panel, they will vote for the winner. So this is the rebuttal round. This is your opportunity to challenge the other person's arguments. The topic in this show is binge versus weekly watching. George is making the case for binge watching, kind of basing it on freedom and liberty, while Adwoa is arguing for weekly watching, basing it around health and what's good for you. So you both have 5 minutes to get this free-for-all. Adwoa, you kick off the free-for-all round rebuttals. Go.
So I know George was saying it's all about your own autonomy and making sure you have the choice to watch these episodes. When you think about it, you still do have a choice. If you're watching it weekly, you're creating so many cultural moments. You're allowing people to actually have a community and talk together. I remember when I watched Lost, because I loved Lost when it came on. If Lost came out today, it would not have been a number one show. It would have been for 1 or 2 weeks, and that is it.
How is it that asking me to wait a week to see how Captain Sandy is going to get that anchor up off the floor of the sea is some enhancement to my quality of life?
But
your earlier arguments,
your
earlier arguments expose the fact that you're driven by the profit and the subscription revenue and the ratings. And of course, if I was employed by how you were employed by, I'd be in the same boat. You talked about that. I knew it was going to come up. You talked about that water cooler that's largely non-existent for people. This is a theory.
We work in a live office. We're not AI robots.
Go to a coffee shop.
We have water cooler
go to a coffee shop with people like me that work from home, and you'll see that they're not all chattering around there and
are they not chattering?
At risk.
You're making an assumption about the people in the coffee shop.
And the assumption that they're going to be exposing some big secret.
You're assuming.
The thing about it is that you used your AI tool to say, binging is so bad that you can have a sore back. This is scraping the bottom of the barrel. But the reality is that the innumerable health benefits associated with health and wellness include actually the compatibility that couples can have by spending more than 35 or 42 minutes. Yes, couples together. I mean, using your model, using your rationing model, you're probably thinking of the couples that schedule their sexual relations and such. But the thing about it is that frequently, it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday when I have the time available to binge, and then I don't have to wait. I don't have to wait for the rationing. I don't have to wait for the rationing rollout that you're a proponent for, driven by your ratings and money for you.
2024 that basically states that people today, now we're out of COVID, so people were used to binge watching and sitting at home because there was nothing to do and you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything. Now it's changed. People are changing and wanting to actually watch weekly episodes.
Perfect. That they should have that choice.
And there
independence and choice.
But you're arguing we're not arguing for choice. No, so your argument falls flat. Your argument falls flat because we're not arguing about choice. We're arguing weekly watching or binge watching.
Yes. Which, if I can binge watch, I also have the choice to be a weekly watcher.
The point is, you should be steadfast, but you're not proving your argument.
Not always on Tuesday
it's not about pace. It's about binge watching.
You're locked into an old world
I'm not locked into
people
no, I'm not.
On a 9 to 5
I'm locked into the
schedule
facts.
And all of that.
I'm
but
locked into the facts.
90 seconds.
We have
in the gig economy and life.
I need to
they
say
need
this.
the
No.
flexibility. And
no,
also,
you're just talking over me just because you're not even talking about facts, though.
Of course I'm talking.
What are your facts? Give me a fact that states your argument.
Binge watching can contribute to significant increases in dopamine,
and
which is good for the brain.
You know what dopamine equals? Addiction. It can lead to addiction, and if you're addicted to binge watching, it shrinks your brain, and these are all facts. These are health concerns. If you're on your couch and you're sitting there for hours upon hours on end, this was a CBC study done in 2022 that said it can lead to heart issues, capacity of your shrinkage of your lungs.
Moving at the theater, like you only go to shorts. Like I can't.
No, but if you're watching,
a
10-hour episodic show, if you're watching a 10-hour episodic show, that's a problem.
Well, a lot of the series available today are mini-series of 6 or 8 shows,
seconds.
which can't anywhere at.
They're long.
Many of them. 6 or 8 episodes.
Tell me a show
Netflix, which is an example of a place where I pay for content.
And you know what Netflix is doing? They're changing their model.
What I really
do you know what they're doing with the new season of Stranger Things? It's coming out episodically.
Oh boy,
but
I would be binge watching this, and we could let this go on for weeks or months, or as long as the streaming service could provide. Absolutely spirited debate there. Thank you, George. Thank you, Adwoa, for that one. Okay, I don't have the tough choice. The decision has to be made by the judges, the in-panel debate judges who are looking here, and they are considering who made the best case. So, judges, it's in your hands and on your paddles. We've got 1 for Adwoa, 2 for Adwoa. Well, it's a sweep, Adwoa. Congratulations. Oh, wow. Okay, Adwoa, congratulations. Moving on to the finals.
Congratulations.
The returning champion. Great debate, really, George. Fantastic debate there.
George,
Thank you so much.
I thought it could go any other way.
Yeah, that was, I didn't know which way that was going to go. Okay, but hey, if you were into that, well, we have more coming up. 2 more contestants, the second semifinal with an exciting new topic to battle over when the great debate comes back right here on CP24. All right, this is CP24's Great Debate. We've got 1 semifinal down, 1 to go. Of course, the Great Debate is being aired right here on CP24 and also on YouTube now. Hey, congratulations to Adwoa Nsiah-Yeboah, who just moments ago won her semifinal match. So she is going to face whoever wins this next round in our final match here on the Great Debate. That goes tomorrow night. As for the here and now, let's talk about this. Our in-studio panel, they are all, well, they're supposed to be carefully watching all the action, but they're turning their backs to us. I'm not sure what this is about. Look at the drama here. They are ready. All right, so the judges ready to go. They're listening intently. I like the little sort of, vignettes we get from them. Okay, so how did we get to this point here? Well, let's take a look at the bracket right now, showing you, of course, that Gurratan Singh took out Kema Joseph. This was the aisle seat versus window seat debate when it comes to flight. Gurratan took that, taking the aisle seat. And then Lucas Meyer and Nicole Servinis debating music versus movies, a really hotly contested one as well. Nicole comes out on top. Big fan of music, so that lines up this semifinal. Gurratan Singh, Nicole Servinis. And here is the topic. So thank you both for being back here again. Nicole, of course, is from Things to Know TA. Gurratan is the Vice President at Crestview Strategy, former member of the Ontario Provincial Parliament. So here we go. This is our second semifinal of the match, and this is the topic. Only 6 times in the history of the modern Olympics have made it onto, 6 people that is, have made it onto the podium at both the Summer and Winter Games. Canadian Clara Hughes competed both the cycling in the Summer Olympics and speed skating in the winter. She was just the 4th athlete in history to win medals in both the Winter and Summer Olympics. 5 medals, to be exact. Really, really impressive athlete. So the next round of the Olympic Games take place in the winter of 2026. They'll be held in Milan, and in 4 years' time, really 3 now, the Summer Olympics will be back in the U.S. with the 2028 Games being hosted in Los Angeles. So here's the debate topic now. What's better, Summer Olympics or Winter Olympics? Gurratan, you are arguing for the Summer Games. You have 2 minutes to state your case.
So before we have to determine which is better, let's remember what is the purpose of the Olympics. And it's clear, it's not just a sporting event. It's to bring the world together in peace and harmony through sport. Now, you know those Olympic rings we know so well? They represent something. They represent the 5 continents, the Americas, Europe, Africa, Asia, and Oceania. And across those continents, it is incredibly clear. It is the sports of the Summer Olympics, running, jumping, martial arts, and more that truly bring people together. And it should be no surprise. For a summer sport, all you really need is your body and your will. Most people in the world have access to a place they can play or run, which builds the foundation for summer sports. But winter sports, you need mountains, you need snow, you need expensive gear. And so when we have this discussion of what is better, let's ask ourselves, what brings the world together in a better way? And for that, it's clear. It is the Summer Olympics. We can all have our personal preferences. I love to ski. We can have our national preferences. Canadians love hockey. But when it comes to bringing the world together, it is no contest. People in every corner of this world come together to see the fastest runner, the strongest lifter, the best martial artist. This is not about preference, personal or national. This is about bringing the world together. And for that, there's no contest. It's the Summer Olympics.
Summer it is for Gurratan. Okay, so that means Nicole Servinis is arguing for the Winter Games, stating that they are better. Nicole, you got a big smile on your face.
I
Ready
do.
to go for 2 minutes. Here we go.
I do. I'm dressed in blue to support winter through and through because, in my opinion, the coolest sports are cold. And talk about the involvement. You know, I know, Gurratan, you were saying how not everyone is able to participate in a winter sport. Well, get this, 91 countries are able to participate, including unlikely countries like Saudi Arabia, Ecuador, and Nigeria, who participated in Winter Olympics. I just want to say the Olympics are supposed to be the elite, the best of the best, set to do the most daring, unexplainable, unimaginable, athletic, whatever it is, you know, from jumping to skating. The thing about Winter Olympics is that there's this daring kind of drama element to it that has you on the edge of your seat. It's actually proven that most viral moments in the Olympics have been on winter sports. Not to mention, yes, it's a worldly, global, uniting occurrence that everyone looks forward to, but also it's nice to win. And let's get real here. Canada dominates in a winter sport. That is our thing. From Sidney Crosby crushing it the gold medal in 2010 to, again, Scott Meyer and Tessa Virtue making this groundbreaking for Canada. It's what Canada has done in the Winter Olympics is unbelievable. We've also hosted the Olympics twice, which is also very impressive. We have a total of 77 medals, which is, again, more than in summer as well. So clearly we know what we're doing.
Okay.
Just saying.
Nicole,
Winter's our
we got to
thing.
wrap that up there. So Nicole's arguing for winter, Gurratan's arguing for summer. Really compelling arguments there. Not up to me to decide, though. The judges are now sort of assessing what was said there, deciding point for point who took that round. But, of course, this is only round one. This is CP24's The Great Debate. Round two, the rebuttal round, the 5-minute free-for-all. That's always exciting. And that's up next here on The Great Debate. All right, summer, winter, skating, hockey, soccer. This is The Great Debate on CP24. It's being aired on CP24 and on YouTube as well. And we are debating the benefits or the pros and cons of winter versus the summer games. This is the rebuttal round. And again, Summer Olympics versus Winter Olympics. Gurratan and Nicole, pretty feisty arguments already. But Nicole, you get to begin the 5-minute free-for-all rebuttal round. Go ahead.
Okay, I think I would just like to say very simply, as someone who was a former figure skater competitively, that I'd take a triple axel watching that over a long jump. Just saying.
This is not about your personal preference. And I think it's beautiful and amazing you did that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is about bringing the world together. This is not even about Canada. The Olympics is not one ring.
Speaking
of
the world,
just to finish the point, this is about bringing the world together. And even within Canada, it is more accessible to do summer sports. Not everyone. I take my daughter skiing.
But it's
I have to drive
Olympics.
far. And that's fine. The Olympics is about bringing the world together across continents, even within nations. It is more equitable that people have. I live in Brampton. There are no ski hills. I got to drive to a little hill in Chicopee, but my daughter can run in our backyard.
For sure, and that's beautiful, and we celebrate that. But the Olympics celebrate the elite athletes, the elite of risk-taking, the elite of danger, of people that are willing to, again, put themselves through the training to be able to do this. So it's not for everyone, and it shouldn't be accessible.
To me,
and that's what makes this so special, to witness these people jump or go through a luge going 150 kilometers an hour, risking their lives. I'm sorry, but when you're running from point A to point B, you're not necessarily risking your life.
Well,
yes, a potential
just to
injury.
retort to this point, the reality is this. The celebration of the Olympics is not just with the elite. That is an elite argument.
So then why doesn't everybody go to the Olympics?
This Olympics is about bringing the world together.
But
it's about
everybody
peace.
in
It's
91
about harmony.
countries participate.
But that pales in comparison to Summer Olympics. 3 billion people watched the last Summer Olympics. 2 billion people watched the last Winter Olympics. 1 billion more people are more engaged in the Summer Olympics, and that's for a reason, because everyone in the world can run. Everyone in the world can participate in these sports. To play soccer, you can play soccer with a ball or with a can.
Let's take this a step further. More viral moments online have been
I do not believe that for a second.
Because of winter sports or winter occurrences.
Fact. You got to fact check that.
The
most viral
the
moment
Google machine.
is the 100-meter
I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but there are records in news. That's what it is.
The world comes together to watch the 100-meter sprint. The world comes together to watch soccer.
Men's hockey is 11 million people versus 2.7 million who watched the 200
watched the last Summer Olympics. 2 billion watched the Winter Olympics.
But you're not getting the numbers clear.
These are very clear. It's talking about world engagement, and you're talking about
engagement.
World engagement.
Exactly.
1 billion more people in the world were involved in the summer and watching.
Winter
engaging,
sports are
and
through
being
and through.
a part.
You know why summer?
If we go to the spirit of the Olympics, 1 billion
because more people were off and had more time to watch it.
That is not the
That's
argument.
why.
That was because
the realistic that winter takes time at a different point in the season, where again it's harder for people because they have jobs, they're working, so they're not necessarily tuning in to every sport and every moment. But if you go online, you can see that there are more viral moments online based on the risk, on the drama, and again the fact that Canada is a leader in gold medals at the Winter Olympics.
This is not about Canada. This is about the world. This is not about viral moments. This is about peace and harmony.
Peace and harmony. 91 countries. How amazing is it that a place like Saudi Arabia and Nigeria are countries that don't necessarily have the ability to train for the winter, but yet have invested so that their country can be participatory in the Winter Olympics.
There's
nothing more impressive than that.
It is a ludicrous argument.
They want to be a part of the cool club. That's what it seems like.
It is a ludicrous argument to make that more people are engaged in the Winter Olympics and Summer Olympics. The Summer Olympics truly brings together in an accessible and an equitable way.
I love the summer, but there's nothing like the Winter Olympics.
Okay, all right, wow, that's interesting. And I never thought that much about the summer versus the Olympics. But hey, Nicole and Gurratan, you put a lot of food for thought out there, and our judges, they're the ones thinking it more than perhaps even you are. Who is the greater debater of this round? Got the paddles flipping. I see one for Gurratan already. I see one for Nicole. Charlie has the tiebreaker. He's going with Gurratan. Gurratan Singh making his way through to the final.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Nicole, wonderful debate.
Nick.
Great job having on the show. Gurratan, we're going to see you in the final tomorrow night. I can't wait to watch that. So there it is. Gurratan Singh, the greater debater in the semifinals, moving on to the final, taking on Adwoa. Tomorrow night, it's going to be an absolute fireworks show. You're watching CP24 with the Great Debate. The final is coming up tomorrow. We can't wait to see you then. All right. Good job. Very nice, very nice.